So hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today we are studying about the arrays in Java. Okay, so without any delay, let's start the session. Okay, yes, I create a one file in arrays. Java. Okay, yes. So basically, what is the array, right? Uh, Firstly, I give you the syntax, right? The syntax of the array is like syntax is like this. Firstly, you define the data type, like okay, so I tell you the first definition is what, right? The definition of the array is like you store the array is what? Array is like a set of a data, a set of numbers or strings. You can take anything, right? It's just a set of particular numbers, right? I have a 1 to 10 numbers, right? And that 1 to 10 numbers I store in a one array. Uh, how to define this array? Uh, with the help of one reference variable, I store that all 10 numbers in array. Yeah. So आई गिव द सिंटेक्स. जब हम आगे आगे जाएंगे वीडियो पे आपको एक 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 चीजें क्लियर होती जाएगी, राइट? और मैं भी वो टाइम समझाने की पूरी कोशिश करूंगा, राइट? सो फर्स्ट आई गिव द डाटा टाइप, right? Integer. I want a set of numbers in the array. So what is this? This bracket is what? This bracket is like a indicates that is a 1D array. In a आगे हम पढ़ेंगे what is a 1D array, 2D array, right? So for 1D array, or you can say just the array, which we give the that brackets. It's all about the syntax. You should remember that thing. Okay, integer that array and give the one variable name, because we storing the 1 to 10 numbers in a one variable. It's called a reference variable, right? I give the reference variable like num. Num is like my reference variable. Okay, and now I'm going to store like okay, I will show you the what is the or standard method, and I'll give the one direct method. Okay, so what is the standard method? Standard method of declaring array is like integer that bracket that num is a variable is equal to new int. Okay, like this, and give this one size like I need a store 10 numbers. Then I give that I want to 10 numbers in my array, right? And how to, like, I give you the size here. This 10 is like the size of my list. Yes, I have a 10 number of list, and this is the size of list. Like I need the 10 numbers to store, and this is the 10 is the size. Okay. The second point is how to first one is the syntax, right? This is the syntax of this is syntax, right? Then you can imagine like I create a one list. Okay, I create a one list, and I want to enter the 10 numbers in that list. Yes, this is a better example. Like, okay, so I give like a integer 0. For integer 0, you can 10. So what is the 0? Okay, sorry, it's not an integer. You take a num. Okay, what is this? Okay, what is this? What is this? What is this? Right? So let's talk about this. So that 0 is like index number. What is the index number? When like I give you the like I write you the comment like a 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 10. See, there is a 10 numbers, right? What is the position of that number? You can say like this is the first position, this is on the second position, this is on the third position, this is on the fourth position. Yes, you are absolutely right. But in array, is a stored from 0. We're starting from 0, right? We're starting from 0. Like this 1 are, are stored in the index number 1. It's called the index, right? It's called the index. When you're starting from 0, that is 0, in the 0 position, my 1 is stored, right? And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, guys continue, right? Then in a zeroth position or zeroth index number, my 1 is stored in a zeroth index number. My 2 is stored in a first index number. My 3 is stored in a second index number. Okay. So I want to enter the 10 numbers in that num, like num is my variable in that array. Right? In zeroth position, I enter the 1. Then I take a 1. Okay. For num 1, I want to enter it. I want to store that 2. So I will copy this for 10 times. Okay. Like 2, 3. I give you the direct method. First आपको ये समझ में आए, फिर मैं आपको डायरेक्ट मेथड बताता हूँ. A direct method is very easy, right? And I recommend you that use the direct method because this is for a very beginner. So I want to tell you this because you are a beginner, right? I'm considering you don't know anything about the arrays and all. So I'm tell you each and everything in the array. Like 8, 9 at the 8th position. Okay, for next. Okay. Then one thing you notice right now is it's starting from a 0, right? It's starting for a 0 and its index number are end on a 9. Why? Because my size of this array is 10. I'm storing the 10 numbers also. And this index number are end on a 9. ठीक है, ठीक है, आपको समझा रहेगा. ओके. सो अब मैंने क्या किया कि मैंने 1 to 10 नंबर्स इस रेफरेंस वेरिएबल में या फिर इस एरे में मैंने स्टोर किया, राइट. एंड नाउ आई वांट टू शो दिस. मतलब मैंने स्टोर किया तो मैंने आपको बता दिया, राइट. मैंने आपको स्टोर किया, मैं ये 1 to 10 नंबर्स मैंने स्टोर किए. हाउ आई कैन शो द यूजर लाइक मैंने ये स्टोर किया, कैसे शो करेंगे? सो एकदम सिंपल मेथड लाइक south. You can show the num of zeroth at the zeroth position which number are stored. I give num at zeroth position. Command S. I'm going to run. Please give me 1. Why? In the zeroth position, which number are saved? In the zeroth position, I save 1. Right? Is it okay? For I want to show the one number in an array. I want to show I have 10 numbers. I want to show the one number in an array. I do like this. I do like this. I print like this. When I want to store, I want to show you that whole list. Got it? I want to show you. I want to show you the complete list. Then how you can show in output the complete list? So there is one solution like arrays dot to string. Okay, and give the this. You should remember this. Array is also different class. Arrays dot to string is also different class, right? So I want to hold that whole number of series, or I want to show the complete that array list, right? I give you the reference name over here. Right? What is the reference name? I give her the name is which what you want. I want this list. I want this list. So how I can tell tell him which list you want? I give the name to that list. I give the name to that array. The name is num. I write the num. Okay. Now we run this. That give me or that show me the all the elements in the array. See, it give me the all the elements in the array. Okay, simple stuff. No rocket science. So this is like a standard method of storing the numbers in an array. Now I give you the best method or always I recommended or we also use that method, okay, because that is too easy. Right? Okay. So what is the direct method? Direct method to store the objects in array. Okay, objects. What is objects in array? Like we are entering the one to we are storing the 1 to 10 numbers in one array. That 1 to 10 numbers. What is that 1 to 10 number? That 1 to 10 numbers is objects, individual objects. It's like one is a one object, two is a one object, three is the one object. Easy. Okay. Now we show you the direct method. So what is the direct method? Uh, Integer. I give the like number, um, number, and in this bracket I directly enter the number like 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4 comma 5 comma 6 comma 7 comma 8 comma 9 comma 10. Is this stuff? Is this stuff? This is a direct method. This is a direct method. Easy. Okay. So okay. Then how we show this? Like we use the that array.toString method. Then array.toString method just we enter the name of that array, name of that array, and they show me the whole array. Whole array objects are stored in that list. The same method I use here, like south array dot toString, and I give the like num is going so this number is number. Okay, command s. Okay, and then see give me whole list. This stuff, right? Good. So same as like same. It's nothing new in that. You can if you want to show the that first index number, then you can do like a number and give the one index number. Which index number? I want like 8. So what is the index number of 8? Index number of 8 is 7. How? Is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is it? Then I give like 7. It should me show the, I comment of this. It should me show the 8. Output is 8. See, it's giving me 8. Is this stuff? Yes, cool. I hope you got it. Nothing rocket science. It's a very easy thing to understand. Okay. So I made a one notes for you. Let me show some notes. Yes, continuous memory location. Okay. Let me tell you what is the continuous memory location. So continuous memory location is like a so stay focused. In a continuous memory location is what? So this my 1 to 10 numbers, right? Is a storing in a one memory, right? It's storing in a one memory. The people who do C previously, or people who know the C language, he knows that arrays objects are stored in a continuous memory location. What is a continuous memory location? Let me tell you what is a continuous memory location. The continuous memory location is like we create a one data type, give a variable name, and in this array I store 1 to 6 numbers. Okay, in this array I store 1 to 6 numbers. In a memory location, how it's stored in C, that's continuous memory location for C, right? Uh, in C is stored like this. Imagine like this is a block of memory, and it one stored at the 0th position, two stored in a second position, first position, or three stored in a second index number, and five stored in a fourth index number, and six stored in a like a fourth index number. Okay, so these index numbers are done. So this element store in a one memory location. What is the memory location? We have a one memory in our computer, and for for individual objects, we have a different memory locations. I take an example is like for one, for example is like for one, give the 100. This is for C. Again, I'm telling you, this is for C, right? This for C. In Java, there is a different thing. Okay. Since C, for understanding what is the continuous memory location, I'm going to tell you this, right? In that one, our stored in memory location is like 100, and the two is the memory location like 104. Why is 104? Because my initial number is 1 and this memory location is 100. Then what is the type of data? Then come is what is type of the data? The type of the data is integer. Integer is 4 byte. First lecture, Introduction to Java Virtual Machine, right? I checked the playlist and there's a first lecture. The integer is a 4 byte. The size of that integer is 4 byte. That's why this 100 are stored in 1 and 2 is stored in 104. If the 100 is stored in 1, it's like 4 bytes of mental location. Then next number are stored in a 104. And next number is stored in a 108. It's like a 444 bytes, right? Good. Good. So what is the next thing? In a Java, what is in a Java? In a Java is like, okay, this is the one fact. If you in Google, what is the array? Google shows like the set of the data, and the data or these objects are stored in a continuous memory location. Okay, the data or objects is stored in a continuous memory location. But in Java, it's false. What I'm telling. Okay, in Java, this is false because it's not stored in a continuous memory location. That is a fact. Maybe or may not be. It's like it can be stored in a continuous memory location or it cannot be stored in memory location. It's completely depend upon Java virtual machine. Java virtual machine, I told you, first lecture, introduction of Java. So it's totally depend upon Java virtual machine, right? In this, what is happen? In this, like 100, that 104, 108, and like this. Okay, but in Java is not like a in continuous memory location, right? It may be like the first will be stored in a one, then second will stored in a 200. Right? The first my object is stored in a 100 memory location, and second may be stored in a like 200 memory location. It's not in a continuous, but in some cases there is possible to store in a continuous memory location. It's totally depend upon Java virtual machine. I go to my notes. Let's see the first page of this. Okay, so this is the notes. I gave the link in description. Okay, so I give the syntax. Okay, let's divide this syntax. This syntax where integer is a data type and array is a reference variable and a new integer, that is a 10 is a size. 10 is a size. And the whole this thing, why we enter whole this thing? The whole this thing is like for creating the object in a heap memory location at a runtime, also called a dynamic memory location. Means what? Means we entering the 10 numbers, like example is like we entering the 10 numbers in my list. Okay, we enter 10 numbers in my list. Then all these numbers or all this data are stored in a heap memory location. What is a heap memory location? Go to the first lecture, introduction of Java. The heap memory location is like a heap memory location creating dynamically. Dynamically what? Like we entering the one, sorry, we enter the first object, second object, third object. Then dynamic memory location or heap memory location, how it's work? It's work like, okay, you enter the one, then I will store in a one memory location. You enter the second number, then that will store in another memory location. And the three, if you enter the third number, that another stored that stored in another memory location. That memory location is called a heap memory location. Okay, simple stuff. So some points are you should remember that the array objects are in a heap memory location. Objects, what objects? That 1 to 10 numbers with objects, the individual objects. That array objects are stored in a heap memory location. And heap objects are not continuous, but there is a no proof. It's totally depend upon Java virtual machine. Again, I'm told you when you Google the definition of the array, it stores the set of the data and set of the data and the objects or its data are stored in a continuous memory location, but it's false. In whenever you go to the Java official website, clearly they told that objects are not stored in a continuous memory location, right? But still there is a no any proof. It's not a continuous memory location or continuous memory location. In other cases, there is any continuous memory location. So there is a not proof. It's totally depend upon Java virtual machine. Okay, I hope you got it. That's a very important point in like interview rounds and any like any company's interview rounds. They can ask like that objects are stored in which memory location. It's not a continuous memory location. It's totally depend upon Java virtual machine. Okay. So what is the reason? Right? There is a some reason. Why reason? क्यों right? क्यों वो कंटिन्यू मेमोरी लोकेशन में नहीं रहता? मेमोरी लोकेशन कंटिन्यूस मेमोरी लोकेशन में क्यों नहीं वो डाटा स्टोर होता? There is a reason is like I little bit small this. Okay. Why objects are not stored in a continuous memory location? Again, this question I asked in interview rounds and all. So why? So because Java don't have a pointer, they can't point out the memory locations. The people who do the C previously or the people who knew the C, they know the pointer concept. What is a pointer? Pointer is used to point like okay, I will tell you what's a pointer. In a pointer, I create a one I give the one variable and that variable I give the star. Star is the symbol of pointer, right? That's all in a C. But Java don't have a pointers. Okay, Java don't have pointers. We can't point out the one memory location for a particular variable. We can't. Right? Java don't have any pointer concept, but C have a pointer concept. C++ have a pointer concept. Right? With all language have pointer concept, but Java they don't have any like pointer concepts like okay. There we can't point out the one memory location for the particular variable. We can't. In a C++, we can give the one pointer to the one variable, and that point outed location, the variable stored in that memory location, and any data of that variable are stored in a same that the same memory location, right? This is the concept of a like pointer. We don't have a pointer in Java, so I give you the just idea what is the pointer, right? Again, why objects are not stored in containers? Okay, there's a we can't point out the memory location, and Java don't have a pointers. Okay, so next is the what is the index? I told you I store the 1 to 5 numbers, and this is the index like a 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4. This is the index. Okay, and that is 0, 0 we have 1, in second we have 3. You see, you can also update the value. Okay, this one is thing. Okay, how we can update the value? Sorry, it's like a okay, I comment out all this thing. So, I comment out this thing. Comment test. Change over. So there is some error. So it's not a good error. Even again, and could not find a load the main location. What is this error? Nothing error. Nothing will load the class one. Ah, because I select that one. Okay. Whenever you're running the code, don't select this thing and run because in a in a VS code is like I select this thing and I run. They're going to run this thing. So by default is a VS code, right? So now I run. See, it's giving me 1 to 10 numbers. Cool, nice. So updating the value. Okay, I move that line to the up and update the value of like मुझे क्या अपडेट करना है 6,6 और मुझे क्या करना है लाइक मुझे ना लाइक मेरा जो फिफ्थ पोजीशन पे 6 नंबर है ना उसको मैं 100 करना चाहता हूँ मैं अपडेट कैसे करूंगा कौन सा नंबर कौन सा पोजीशन पे फिफ्थ नंबर पे आई गिव लाइक a num as like fifth position is initially 6, right? Now I want to update this thing. I want to give the 100 over there, right? I want to give the 100 over there. Now its thing is updated. Now its thing is updated, but it's not going to be print. See, see, the thing is updated, but not printing. It's now show me 6, but it's not updated. अगर ये वाला स्टेटमेंट अगर इसके आप नीचे डालो, I will select this. Sorry, okay, this. Okay, okay. अगर मैंने अभी रन किया तो क्या करेगा ये? फर्स्ट मेरा जो इनिशियली था वैसे दिखाएगा, और अपडेटिंग के बाद अगर मैंने इस लिस्ट को प्रिंट किया तो वो अपडेटेड वैल्यू दिखाएगा. लेट्स शो यू हाउ. सी, पहले जब मैंने प्रिंट किया तब उसने अपडेट नहीं किया, फिर मैंने एक बार वैल्यू अपडेट किया उसके बाद प्रिंट किया. इट्स गिव मी द लिस्ट विथ अपडेटेड वैल्यू. So this is the updating data in like arrays. Okay, let's go to the notes. This is the second page. By default value is 0. Okay, okay, okay. Let me tell you something. So मैं से print out comment out कर देता हूँ. Command out this thing. अगर this is a very interesting point. Okay. अगर मैंने इसको सिर्फ डिक्लेयर किया, इट्स कॉल्ड डिक्लेयरिंग. डिक्लेयरिंग declaring array. Is a declaring array. This is just a declaring of one array. अगर मैंने इस array में कुछ नंबर डाले ही नहीं तो क्या होगा? Let's print this list. Let's print this list like arrays dot string. Just print this num. It's give me 0. Let's see. See, it's give me the 10 0. Why 10 0? Because my size of this array is 10. Hope you got it. This array is 10, and this initially storing the 0 in all memory in all index. This initially is 0. Initially is 0. If I want to add a number further that, then I do like num for a second position. I want to store 100. Now I'm going to print this. So it's not going to, okay, we don't print this. Okay, let's print this. See, command is now run. See, it's giving me at the second index number, giving me 100 because I entered the 100 in the second index number, right? Very very simple stuff, right? So this is the it's initially 0. When you declare the array and not entering some data in there, that is initially or this data is 0. One more important thing is there. What is the one more important thing? Let me tell you something. Like see, in the last I'm going to show you. Okay, I did this terminal. So what is this? So I create one array for a string, like string, okay, and give like a name, okay, and new string. This is the standard method. Again, this is the standard method. I give the size like 10, okay, and अगर मैंने इधर किया था, जब मेरा इंटीजर डाटा टाइप था और तब मैंने इसको प्रिंट किया विदाउट इंटरिंग द एनी डाटा, तो 0 0 दे रहा था. अगर मेरा स्ट्रिंग डाटा टाइप हुआ तो वो क्या देगा? लेट्स डू, okay, let's do arrays dot toString, and I give the name of my array. Command is give me null. See, it's giving me null. So what is a null? Null is like a one special character in Java. Null is like one special character in Java. In string, we should enter the one string. You can't enter the number, right? Okay. So they can't show like 0 because there is a data type is a string. If your string is empty in a string data type, you don't enter anything. Then give me the null. Null is what? Null is the one special character. Okay, cool. I think you got it. Very simple stuff. Very simple stuff. Just focus what I'm saying. Okay. So let's do more. What we do is like this is the important thing. Okay, okay. Let me show you something. So it is in a use array in a function. How we can use? Okay. Um, just I create a like a integer like num like bracket are there. Okay. One more thing I want to tell you. It's not a mandatory to enter this bracket here, right? You can also this enter bracket like here. इधर भी आप लिख सकते हो, कोई एरर नहीं देगा. जस्ट फॉर देयर इज अ स्टैंडर्ड मेथड. अगर आप इधर इधर एक ब्रैकेट डालते हो, इज लाइक वन स्टैंडर्ड मेथड और लुक मोर क्लीन. सो आई डू दिस. ओके. एंड I give the one list over there like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, cool, cool. Okay, so I want to update the number of this list using function. Then how I can do? So I create a one function. Firstly, I print this. Firstly, I print this. South, there is the string and none. Okay, command s. Okay, we're going to print. It's going to print 1 to 10 numbers. Okay. Now I want to update this value using function. If you don't watch function video, go and watch this. This is one of the best function videos, right? In array. So I give the array like a update. Its return value is void. Update the things. Okay. Update the things. Now what I'm do is like just pass the this array. I give like a integer like the list. Okay, and I want to pass this complete list. I want to pass this complete list to that function. And how I can pass? Just I give the number of this function, the name of this function, like update, and I want to give the name of this array. Like when you enter the name of this array, that complete string or a complete list are going to store, are going to pass. Okay. In a Java, there is a no like a call by reference. It's only the call by value. Remember? And I'm going to print this like there is this string, and I want to print the no. No. Okay. Now I want to update this. Let me tell you in detail what is happening in there. So मैंने क्या किया, एक अपडेट नाम का एक फंक्शन बनाया, राइट. उस अपडेट नाम के फंक्शन को जैसे माय फंक्शन उसके अंदर मैंने एक लिस्ट पास की, द कंप्लीट लिस्ट. num is the one list of the or one array. That complete array I pass in a as pass the value, right. That this num I take a copy of in this list. I create a one new integer list name array, and this copy of this num array are stored in a that list. Okay, means the copy of this are storing in this array. The copy of this array are going to store in this array. Then I edit the uh, number. See what is it, like this array are stored in this array, right. तो मेरा लिस्ट में का जीरो पोजीशन क्या रहेगा, जीरो पोजीशन की वैल्यू क्या है, जीरो, right. Whenever I going to update this, that is the list at the zero position, I want 100, right. So what is happening there? This is not an integer. I need to write like an integer. I want to pass this. I just going to return this return. Let's see the command this to see what is happening here, right? That list at a zeroth position is initially is one. Initially it is a one, right? Now it's 100. List at a zero position is now 100. Means what? That a num at a zero position is initially 1. Let copy of this in list and now update the list zero position 100. Then they update the value of list at a zero position, which is 1 here. It's 100. Officially. Ah, see, it's like 1 to 10 numbers. And what I update a list 0 is equal to 100. And the 0 is 100. Is it? Is this thing? Right? I hope you got it. What we do here, we update the value. We update the value of the list using function, right? I hope you got it. The people who don't watch the function videos, please go and watch because I guess that pretty much are covered in the functions in array, right? So this is the thing. We can update the value of array list value, update the value of this using function. So that's it. Let's see what is the next topic. Okay, there's a 2D array. Wow. So the only thing we learn now is for a 1D array. It's just a 1D array. This all are a 1D array. Let's take one more question on here for a 1D array. Let's take one question for a 1D array. It is ज़्यादा गिचमिड हो चुकी है, right? नेक्स्ट नया फंक्शन यही फाइल जाने का कमांड s like example array dot tel. Okay, it's a new file basically. Sorry. So what is the thing next? Then the question is take a 10 input from user. Take a 10 input from user in my list or in my array and show this or output they can print the all the numbers which inputted from the user. So for firstly what I do, I want to take from a user and I enter scanner certain is equal to this scanner system dot print. Okay, system okay to system scanner in continuous scanner. Okay. Okay, so I'm taking from input from user. First thing, I create a one array here. Array I take a like num, num is the reference variable, and I'm using the standard function. I like a standard syntax. I'm using standard syntax for this, like a integer bracket num new integer. Okay, cool. And I want to give the size, which is I want 10 number. User should enter the 10 number in an array. So I give the size is 10. So cool. Okay, that's good. Now I give the for loop like a integer I is equal to 0 and I is less than like 10. Okay, and I plus plus. Cool. And now I want to take an input from the user. So what I do like you know something like num at I position take a input in dot next integer. So this is taking this thing are taking an input from user. This thing are taking the input from user. It's take a 10. It's take a 10 numbers, right? Because I is initially 0 is incremented until it's become a 9. Whenever I entering the size of the array is 10, that index number is 9, right? At 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to 10, up to 9, right? Cool. So this is for input. If I want to show this, I just copy this thing and I want to print this. We can do something like just print this out. Uh, Maybe num at I command S. I do like something out. That number is as following, and I will enter the 10 number. Enter the 10 numbers. Command S function. This like this. Okay, I just delete this terminal. Again run. Okay, enter the 10 numbers. Okay, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. See, the entered number is 1 to 10. ये मेरे को एक लाइन में शो कर रहा है, ये मेरे को एक लाइन में शो करना है. अगर मेरे को एक लिस्ट में शो करना है तो मैं क्या करूंगा? अगर मेरे को एक लिस्ट में शो करना है तो मैं क्या करूंगा? आई डू लाइक समथिंग, कैंसिल दिस, और इसमें एक कर दूंगा लाइक कॉन्कैटिनेशन एक arrays dot string and I give what is the name of the array? This name. Command S and I give the slash n. Slash n is for a next line. Right? Whenever you enter the slash n, out in further this, right? इसके आगे का जो भी है, जैसे आप स्लैश में देते हो, इसके आगे का जो भी नंबर रहेगा, स्ट्रिंग रहेगी, कुछ भी, दैट्स गोइंग टू प्रिंट ऑन ना नेक्स्ट लाइन. Enter the 10 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. The entered number is this. Cool. So this is pretty much about the 1D array, right? And I think I cleared all the things in a 1D array with nothing, any different thing. Like just take one more example for a better, right? For a better practice. So I'm making you all rounder, right? Like you don't need to only take a list of integer. You can also take a character or a string. Even like string, I enter the string, list for the string, and for the names, right? And for names is equal to new string, and new string I want like uh, three names. I want three names. I'm going to enter my three friend names. Okay. Now for the program for input, right? For okay, one more thing I told you, right? Okay, like integer I is equal to initially 0, right? Now concentrate here. Like I is less than what? See, my size of this array is 3. I entered here. My size of this array is 3, right? Then I edit this by 4. तो आप इधर फिर से 4 एडिट करोगे, राइट? मतलब मैंने अभी डाला लाइक 3, राइट? और मैंने बाद में इसका साइज 10 कर दिया, आपको इधर भी 10 करना पड़ेगा. तो आप कुछ तो ऐसा करो कि जैसे आप इसकी साइज चेंज करोगे तो ये ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाए. सो this is for there is a one function for that. My size is string is 3. My size of this array is 3. They take a 3 names. So for detecting the length of this array, I use one function that or you can say the method, the inbuilt method. There is one method in Java. Like you firstly give the name of your array, like name dot, what is name dot, and enter the length. Length is what? Length is the one method. You can hover and see. Ignore this, right? Length is a one function in Java. Length is one function in Java. What that returning? अगर आप name dot length डालते हो is going to be written the tree, is going to be written the size of your array. Okay, simple stuff. Means whenever I enter the name dot array is going to consider like three because my length of this array is three. I hope you got it. And I plus easy stuff. Let's take a input from a user. For taking input from a user, I do like name is equal to name dot next easy stuff. Name at which position? Name at I, right? The name at zeroth position, zeroth index number. I give the one name, and it's increasing like one by one. Zeroth index, second, first index, second index, third index, like this. This stuff. And I want to print the list of this names. So simply I do like this. Simply I do like this. So I'm going to copy this and move this like this. So this is for the output. This is for the output. Output is not a name, it's name. Is it? Command as going to run this. Okay. For a readability, आपको तो अच्छे समझ में आ रहा है जब इधर ही मैं कुछ स्टेटमेंट डालता हूँ इंटर 5 names, इंटर 5 names, enter the 5 names, enter the 5 names. You can enter the 5 names and the number is entered names is no, it's not 5, it's 3. So I want to enter the 3 names, right? So command S and run this. Means anomalous error. Okay, that's going to be. So enter the 3 names. I'm going to enter like firstly my name, like Papa, and entered name is Akshay Papa. Okay. Now you know. Now you know the how to take inputs from user and that's stored in an array. That you know now. राइट आपको भी पता चला है कि एक लिस्ट बनानी है एरे इज लाइक कंसीडर एज वन लिस्ट और उसके लिस्ट में एक एक ऑब्जेक्ट और एक एक डाटा डालना है यूजिंग दिस मेथड you can take an input as a string name like anything string number like anything it's just a data type you can do anything with that. Okay, okay, that is the thing is about 1D array. Let's talk about 2D array. Okay, okay. The file name, okay. The file name should not start from the two, like any number, not this, any number. I give the name like array 2D. It's not giving value. With the main function here. So, what is a 2D array? So, this is a very important topic, right? The many of the people do 1D array and skip 2D array. So, I will explain you in a very detail what is a 2D array. Look at that, there is my notes, right? There is in a 2D array, imagine 2D array like a matrix. You know matrix. Matrix is like there is a row means like that you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like this. This is the row, right? And that you see 1, 4, 7, 3, 2, 5, 8, and 3, 6, 9. That is a column. That is a row. That is a column. That is a row. That is a column. It's column matrix. Right? Basically, it's like this. So, how I can explain this? So, firstly, the syntax of that. Let's show you what is the syntax. Syntax. Syntax of 2D array is like this. Integer 1, 2, like integer. Why giving me error? I will tell you in a further this. Can give the space or not? There is nothing any issue, right? So what is this? In a 1D array, you say you see I give the only one square bracket. In 2D array, I give the two square brackets, right? Why this giving me error? I told you, or I'm told you now. Like just give the okay. Let's show you this. There is a three rows and three columns over there. There is a three rows and three columns, right? Then this first bracket, square bracket, is for a row, and this second bracket is for a column. There is a three column, then give like three, and there is a three rows. That first for a row and second for a columns. Okay, first for row, second for a column. Then I have three rows and three columns, right? And the integer and give like a name matrix. In this integer that giving two bracket, it is for a 2D array, and I for this 2D array I give the name for this 2D array, or is a reference variable, is a matrix integer. The same as like 1D array, just there is a two bracket here, and you should give the size of this. One more thing is there, the giving the size of rows, giving the size of rows is mandatory. It's mandatory, but giving the size of columns is not a mandatory. You can give or not give. It's totally depend upon you. क्यों मैं आपको बताता हूँ, क्योंकि लाइक आपका मालूम है आपको थ्री रोज है, मतलब थ्री रोज है थ्री कॉलम्स है. मैंने आपको पहले बताया था जब हम डालेंगे, जब एरे का नेम डालेंगे मैट्रिक्स डॉट लेंथ, वो ऑटोमेटिकली डिटेक्ट कर लेगा कि इधर कितने कॉलम्स है. ठीक है, अभी मैं आपको सीधे सीधे करके बताता हूँ, फिर मैं आपको फंक्शन यूज करके बताता हूँ. सो व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन? लेट्स सी व्हाट इज द क्वेश्चन देयर. Imagine like a 2D array. Just take a question like print this. Okay, print this. Here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Print this matrix and take the input all of this for from user. सबसे पहले आपको बताता हूँ like how to take the inputs or how to enter the numbers or data in a 2D array. So let's go. I just enter like matrix. So firstly मैं आपको डायरेक्ट मेथड बताता हूँ. There is a standard method. The method is standard method, direct method. Method. What is the direct method for this? The direct method for this is like a integer giving this. First, I comment out the standard method. Matrix. Sorry. Okay. Now I how I enter this. So I have three rows. Click on. इधर मैंने इसको साइज नहीं दिया, इसमें इधर इसको मैंने साइज नहीं दिया, मैं जितना भी डालूंगा उतना लेगा. राइट, मैंने डाला लाइक 1, 2, 3, it's 3. In the first row, I have three numbers. In second row, I have three numbers. And third row, I have three numbers. For second row, I enter like 4, 5, 6. And for third row, I give like 7 comma 8 comma 9. Cool. And how I print this? One more thing is there. One more thing, very very important. Whenever you entering the data like this in this bracket, that complete one bracket are stored in an index number 0. That in the first for this the index number is 0. For a complete this the index number is 0, right? To complete this, for complete this the index number is 0. Let's I will show you the string, and I want to print this. Firstly, I print the complete this. First, how I print this? Like matrix command S is show me the all this thing. So okay. Why it's not giving me? So I give the one like 0. So what I'm telling here, I'm telling the show me the list of at 0th position. There is a one list inside this bracket. There is a one list, and I want to print this list, right? With the command as option 0. See, this give me 1, 2, 3. Why? Why? Because I'm giving the matrix at a 0th position. Matrix at 0 position. मैं आपको बताया था हम arrays और toString तब भी यूज करते हैं तब हमें पूरा जो लिस्ट होती है, एक लिस्ट मतलब एक ब्रैकेट के अंदर जो एक लिस्ट है वो पूरी लिस्ट शो करनी होती है, तब हम arrays डॉट toString यूज करते हैं. इजी. दैट्स इट. दैट्स इट फॉर दिस. देयर इज लाइक हमें हमें सिर्फ इसका फर्स्ट लिस्ट हमें प्रिंट करना है, तो हम यूज करेंगे at a 0th position. At the 0th position there is a one list is 1 2 3 1 2 3, and when I'm going to print this for 0th index list, let's give me the 1 2 3. I'm going to I want to print like second. What is the second? It's 0 1 2. At a second for second index number there is a 7 8 9. Let's run this. It's giving me 7 8 9. I hope you got it. Then you also you can say me like, hey Akshay, I want to print like in a first index number, I want to print this two. I want to print only this two. Then how I can print this? You say like Akshay, you do this method for one this whole thing, that for complete that zeroth index position, you print like this. Okay. Then I want to only this number. How you can print this? I can print this like using south matrix. I want this too. So this stored in a zeroth index number, first point. Okay. In this series, at which index number these two are storing? In this list, at a zeroth position is 1, and the second position and the first position 0 1 2 3. Index number is like starting from 0 0 1 2 3. So at the first index number, that is 0 is 1, that is 1 is 2. In first list, first list means 0th index number. Which number you want? I want this two. These two are stored in a which index number? These two are stored in a first index number of this, and in this list the two are storing at the array number 1, or index number 1, like index number 0, index number 2, or index number 1, right? Like index number 1 command s. So okay. at a at the first list I want the index number 1. In the first list I want the index number 1 command s. See, it's giving me 2. Very simple stuff. Don't be confused in that. Okay. Like in the index number for it complete this, the index number is 0. For complete this index number is 0. For complete this index number is 1. For complete this index number is 2. So for this index, for this list, the index number of 0 is 1. The index number of 1 is 2. And the index number of 2 is 3. Is this stuff? Is this stuff? And that's how I call like matrix at the first means that is 0th index number, that is the first list, and inside this first list, I want the first index number like a 0 and first index number is 2. That I would like this. Easy, easy stuff, very easy stuff. There are no any rocket science like this, right? There's no any rocket science. That's it. That is put it. Right? It's like that's it. You just research more about this, and you know something new about this, right? How take a one more example is like how I can update this. How I can update this. Same as like this. I take example like this. This in that position I want to store 100. Okay. Yes, and I want to see this one also. That is question, and one for a zero position. Okay. Zero. Uh, this is- Yes, good. That's how we do. How I update this. So मैंने अपडेट के इधर क्या किया हमने अपडेट के इधर क्या किया लाइक मैट्रिक्स एट जीरो पोजीशन मैट्रिक्स एट जीरो पोजीशन उसके अंदर का जो फर्स्ट पोजीशन लाइक जीरो एंड फर्स्ट पोजीशन जो था हमारा ऑलरेडी था 2. अब हमको ये 2 नहीं चाहिए हमें इसे अपडेट करना है एज अ 100. सो आई डू लाइक दिस एंड असाइन द वैल्यू 100 over there and I'm going to print this or you can not print it totally depend upon you. Come on, that's option there. See what I print? The matrix of zeroth position. The matrix of zeroth position 1, 2, 3. After updating the matrix of our first matrix, let's give me this tool. I hope you got it. Like this first one list, this first one list, index number 1, which is 2, it's a 2. मेरे को वो चेंज करना है फ्रॉम 100 मेरे को 100 से चेंज करना है आई गिव लाइक दे आर 100 right now my this list are updated right then I'm going to print this. See, it's giving me updated value is 100. Cool. So take a one. Let's see the notes. What is the notes? Where not mandatory. Why this is not mandatory? I'm going to tell you in the questions. The third page. Now, direct method. Okay, I will tell you of direct method. Internally, how it works. I also told you like at a zeroth position, that complete string are going to be like it is zeroth position, that one list are there, at a first position one list are there, in a second position one list are there, right? Whenever I am going to print matrix, the how internally works, internally इसको पता है कि मैट्रिक्स एट अ जीरो पोजीशन ये पूरा लिस्ट है, वो पूरा लिस्ट मैट्रिक्स एट अ जीरो वो इंटरनली रहता है. तो मैट्रिक्स एट अ जीरो एट फर्स्ट पोजीशन मैट्रिक्स जीरो एट फर्स्ट पोजीशन इज 2, राइट? वो इंटरनली देयर आर स्टोर्ड. मैंने आपको बस ये प्रिंट करके बताया. मैंने भी सी मैंने बस आपको ये प्रिंट करके बताया, राइट? देखो लाइक मैट्रिक्स एट 0 2 मैंने सिर्फ आपको ये प्रिंट करके बताया. मैट्रिक्स एट दिस मैंने आपको सिर्फ प्रिंट करके बताया. मैट्रिक्स ऑफ 0 at 1 इसको मालूम है जीरो में ये है, इसके अंदर 2 फर्स्ट वाले ये नंबर है. ये इंटरनली हाउ इट वर्क्स. ओके, no rocket science, yeah. No rocket science. Just concentrate what I'm saying, right? And try to understand things. Okay. This is the third page of this. There is a one more question. Like take a 3 by 3 matrix input from the user. Okay. तो हम एक काम करेंगे, यही वाला मैट्रिक्स लेंगे यूजर से लेंगे. How you can do this? You can do this like ओके, मैं एक फाइल बनाता हूँ इसमें मैट्रिक्स जावा condition. Okay, so I want to print the matrix, and that matrix are taking input from a user. Okay, so look at that. What is this? It's like what is my matrix? Okay, this is my matrix. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Right, this is my matrix, and that all inputs are taken from a user. This is my question basically. This is my question. So firstly, I create one array, like an integer 2D array, like uh, matrix, and I want to new integer. Okay. In this, I give the size. It's 3 by 3. There's a 3 column and 3 line. 3 columns or 3 rows. Then I give the size 3 by 3. These 3 are not mandatory. Okay. So आगे बताता हूँ पहले अभी ये लिखो दिस इज फॉर दिस नॉट मैंडेटरी ये मैं आपको बाद में बताता हूँ हाउ इट्स नॉट मैंडेटरी सो फर्स्टली आई क्रिएट वन फॉर लूप फॉर integer row is equal to 0 and 0 and something like row is less than matrix matrix something matrix dot length and row plus plus. You see what is happening here. So let's firstly see the approach is what I have one row. In one row I have three columns, right? I have one row, there is three columns, right? The three columns have three numbers, right? I take a one row, there is a three brackets or three columns. In these three columns, I want a 1, 2, 3 for first row, for second row. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. So, in the first row, I have a three columns 1, 2, 3. In first row, I have three columns and entering the three numbers, right? 1, 2, 3 are in the first column, second column, third column. All this 1, 2, 3 are in the first row, right? For this, for a first row, I want to enter the three numbers in the three columns. Then I create like a for, like a integer column is equal to 0 and like something matrix dot length and column plus plus column plus plus. Okay, so what is happening is there, happening is there is like in the first row I wanted three numbers in a column. In the first row I want three numbers like 1, 2, 3. In three columns I want three numbers, right? So I'm taking input from a user, therefore I add the scanner and is equal to scanner and screen out. Now I take input from the user. So how I take input from user? So for matrix add row. Row means that zeroth row, like in first row, I want a first number, second number, third number. That is the three columns. That is three columns in the first row, right? In the first row, in first column, second column, third column, there is that loop are going to be run three times. Therefore, this column row three times are running, right? See, there is three times running. What a matrix dot length? The length of this three. Okay, this is in the column. Okay, in dot next 21. This is for a taking input from you. Input. Good. So how we take an input in that? How it internally works? Firstly, Understand how it's internally work. The matrix at zeroth position or at zeroth position, I will tell you in that, like, what is a 2D array? It is 2D array. Matrix at a zeroth is that all thing. That all thing zeroth at zeroth. Like in the zeroth bracket or first bracket, there is the first number, which is the index number is 0, is 1. The same concept is used here. The row is first. The first place. In the first place, the first number, that is the column 0, is going to be run 3 times. Because I want to three numbers, 1, 2, 3. Right? It's for the input, for the output, for the output. How you can print this, right? How you can print this? Just I take this thing, copy here, move here, and I'm going to print this. Stop. Um, Matrix at row and column. Let's stop. Minus minus. Step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now I enter, just give me the matrix. Okay, it's giving it. I enter 9. It's giving me the matrix in a one row. For a differentiating, adding the one statement here, like out something, uh, output. Output is this. Command S, going to run this. Enter like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. See, it's output given like this. This is the first method to print this matrix. What is the second method? The second method is very easy. Just this. There is dot capital S. It's arrays, not array. Arrays dot to string. And inside this, I want the matrix at row. Command S. Why do this? Because array at row. Array, I tell you, अगर आपको एक नंबर, अगर आपको नंबर करना रहेगा प्रिंट, तो आप वो उसके पहले बताया वो मेथड यूज कर सकते हो. अगर एक पूरी लिस्ट आपको शो करनी है तो आप ये वाला एरे डॉट टू स्ट्रिंग वाला मेथड यूज कर सकते हो. तो मैट्रिक्स एट रो, मैं रो क्यों प्रिंट कर रहा हूँ? बिकॉज इन फर्स्ट रो आई हैव थ्री नंबर्स, इन सेकंड रो आई हैव थ्री नंबर्स, इन थर्ड रो आई हैव थ्री नंबर्स. व्हेन आई प्रिंट द रोज, मैं इसको एक फॉर्मेट में डाला 3 बार, ये लूप जो है वो 3 बार रन होगा. ये लूप 3 बार रन होगा. इन तीनों बार, एक बार फर्स्ट, सेकंड, थर्ड, ये तीनों रो में को शो करेगा. लेट्स सी और रीडेबल होने के लिए मैं थोड़ा एक बार और डालूंगा. साउथ इंटर मैट्रिक्स enter the matrix like a 1, 2, 7. See, is giving you matrix. Is this stuff? Where is this stuff? No rocket science is there. No rocket science is there. So that's how we print the matrix. That matrix are taken from input from user. They're very simple stuff. Trust me, it's a very simple stuff, right? People are when people are see like 2D arrays in a matrix, they say like, aha, why? This is too much big code, and right? Just think about approach. Which approach I use, right? Which approach I use to print this or taking this input or showing this output, right? One more thing I tell you this size are not mandatory. This is a row, this is a column. The size of column is not mandatory. How? Akshay, prove them. How you can say this size is not mandatory? Prove them. file like size dot java anything. Okay. So how I say the column size is not mandatory. Okay. So I create like an integer. Okay. Give the matrix. Okay. Right. And right 1, 2, 3. Okay. In my first row. In second row. Is it 3, 1, 5, 6. You see, there is a one row, second row. There is a four columns. Right. It's totally depend upon me. Okay. Like um, this, 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 like this. Okay. So this thing is like this. So what is happening is there. In this, there is a not given any size. There is a no any row number. There is a no any column number. So I can add कितने भी I can add कितने भी rows और कितने भी columns जितने आपको चाहिए, right? You can add one more, like याद है ना, फोर रोज हो गए, फोर रोज का एक एग्जांपल नहीं लिया था ना, हो गया ना, फोर रोज एक एग्जांपल नहीं लिया था, इसमें लिया, अरे फोर रोज. You can add n number of rows. You can add n number of columns. It's totally depend upon you. You don't need to give a size in here. Size here. Not even don't need to give size here. It's just the thing about the initializing, right? How to get output of this. Output of this. So taking output of this, I make a one for loop, or I give the like integer row is equal to 0, and like something row is less than matrix dot length. Okay. And again the row is plus plus. In this row I want to for a column look, integer column is equal to 0, and like column is less than matrix dot length, and sorry, column plus plus. Is this stuff? So I do one more mistake here. Whenever I want to print this, right? जब मैंने अब मेरे को मालूम है इस मैट्रिक्स का लेंथ कितना है, 1 2 3 4. The length of a matrix is 4. But you notice this, the length of matrix is 4. But still, also the length of this row or the number of rows is 4. Understand? If my matrix length is 4, it's like 0, 1, 2, 3. Then my row is also 4. And number of rows is also 4. Right? But column is vary. There is a 3 columns. There is a 4 columns. There is a like 5 columns. There is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. Right? Then how you can print columns? For matrix, add row. समझा आपको? Matrix at row is 0. In the row 0, how much columns are there? In matrix of 0, how much columns are there? I depend upon row length, because like matrix at the row, when I go to matrix at 0, it show me 1 2 3, and the length of this list is 3. The length of this list is 3, then my column is 3. Matrix at a row at 0 is this one, then the length of this one is 3. When a number of columns is 3, you can take whatever, like a row at the second or second one for this. Then length of this one is 4. Then my number of column is 4. Simple stuff. Now I'm going to print this like south. There is dot string. Now what do I want to print? I want to print rows. So matrix at row. Comma dash. Okay, I write this inside the loop. Okay, I will tell you this method also. Free method is whatever. What I do and what this giving it's right. It's it's technically right. As I told you what happened. So मुझे एक फॉर लूप है एक एक करके रन होगा मुझे इसको ऐसा लिखना पड़ेगा लाइक मैट्रिक्स एट रो सॉरी मैट्रिक्स एट रो and it's at column command s now see giving the first is here 1 2 3 second is here 3 4 5 6 third is 1 2 3 say 1 2 3 and like this right if you want in a matrix format then do like this like south there is dot string and print the rows is it okay rows look at matrix of rows matrix of rows another see it's show you in a matrix form see same numbers you can do many operation is there you can do like for practice you can do like you update the value of this and then print you can update the value of this and this then print now one more thing is like whenever I enter the 4 it's whenever I enter the 4 it's giving me error the size of Java syntax error 4 taken deleted token because I already entered the 4 columns here right I already entered the 4 columns here that's why or you can't take the size here like आप इधर साइज नहीं लिख सकते हमारा सिंटेक्स क्या था हमारा सिंटेक्स क्या था हम साइज कहाँ पे लिखते हैं हम साइज यहाँ पे लिखते हैं यहाँ पे नहीं लिखते जब हम डायरेक्ट हम जब डिक्लेयर करते हैं इट्स डोंट टेक केयर अबाउट व्हाट इज द साइज और हाउ मच टाइम्स you can doing the how much times you printing this or not it's, it's considered automatically Java is intelligent right so this is pretty much about the array let me show you how it works so in user and list okay now is the dynamic array let's see the dynamic array what is the dynamic array dynamic array. Java. So in dynamic array, actually, what is a dynamic array? The first is the dynamic array is like you can say you can told the Java is like, hey Java, I don't want to take care about the size. मैं जैसे जैसे इनपुट डालते जाऊंगा जैसे 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 आप जगह बनाते जाओ और करते जाओ मैं n numbers of input डालूंगा n numbers of जगह बनाते जाओ that all are shooting in a hitman location as always but still if you want if you don't want to take a burden of size of array, then dynamic array is in use. Okay. Then in dynamic array, there is a array list. What is the array list? Firstly, I told you the syntax of this array list. The syntax of this array list is like this. This already I will tell you what. The array array list array list. Inside this, I give the array list of वो list में मुझे कौन से type of कौन से data type चाहिए. मेरा बता integer, integer, or like फिर मैं डालूंगा list because I want list array list and like new array list. And I can give the 10. Why this 10? 10 is the starting count. Initial capacity, you can say. Initial capacity is 10. Right? So this is the more interesting. Let me tell you in detail. Okay? You can take any number here. Huh? You can take any number. You can take a 5 number. It's not like that कि अब मैंने इधर 5 डाला initial capacity तो आप 5 ही डाटा उसमें स्टोर कर सकते हो एरे लिस्ट में. No. No. Okay. I take a 10 here. See how it's working. This is the syntax of this. This is the syntax of this. You can also write like this. Canceling the data type. You can also do like this. You can also do like this and also do like this. Yeah. It's overriding. Overriding. हाँ. इसके अंदर भी आप डाटा टाइप डाल सकते हो लाइक सो आप ऐसे भी प्रिंट कर सकते हो और लाइक इन दोनों में से ये निकाल के भी कर सकते हो. लाइक ये और ये निकाल के भी प्रिंट कर सकते हो. It cannot give you error. Just like a dead code because you not entering some value in array list. For a good practice or as a beginner, I'll do like this. Okay, this is the array list. So, what is the array list basically? Basically, array list what do for you is creating a list for you. Just आपको चाहिए जितने आप समझो. मेरे एक लिस्ट में जैसे पहले बताया स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द लेक्चर इज 1 to 10 हैव वन लिस्ट. मेरे को n नंबर्स ऑफ लिस्ट चाहिए लाइक 1 to 10 जैसे मुझे 1000 चाहिए तो आप 1000 बार थोड़ी वो डिक्लेयर करके बैठोगे 1000 बार थोड़ी एरे लिखते बैठोगे. नहीं, आप बस एरे लिस्ट यूज कर सकते हो फिर वो डायनेमिकली सब क्रिएट करते रहेगा और आप एंटर कर सकते हो. राइट. ओके. So how to add element in array list? Right? How to add element in array list? Uh, for adding element in array list or showing element in array list, there are some function like the array function. You can like list dot add. List dot add. I want to add like 100. Right? I want to add 100. Let's see in the notes. I will show you. The list dot add 100. Then I add the 100 at a 0th position is automatically stored in 0th position. See, for printing this list, there is no complexity. Just write list. It's print for you. It's print for you. You don't need to write like a list at like 0th position. No, there is no list. It's giving you error. When you're using the list, there is a lot of functions. Right? See, right? You can add a n number like you can do like a list dot add like 200, right? like n numbers of times, n numbers of times. Okay. Now I'm going to print this. Just out list. See what's given. Give me 200, 200, 200. Getting the point. Getting the point. अगर अभी आप बोलोगे लाइक अक्षय आप तो लाइक लाइन से सब कुछ ऐड करते जा रहे हो तो इंडेक्स नंबर तो जीरो से स्टार्ट होगा तो मैं इसमें अपडेट वैल्यू कैसे करूंगा लाइक मुझे एरेज एट ए जीरो पोजीशन मैंने जो 100 डाला है मुझे उसको एडिट करके चेंज करना है लाइक मुझे उसको करना है 500 देन हाउ यू कैन डू दैट यू कैन डू लाइक दिस लाइक लिस्ट dot there is a one function like set there is the index number कौन सा चाहिए फर्स्ट वाला चेंज करना है तो फर्स्ट इंडेक्स नंबर 0 एंड क्या डालना है उसका चेंज में क्या डालना है तो चेंज में डालना है 500 तो आई ऐड 500 देयर राइट आई ऐड 500 देयर semicolon and then I'm going to print this okay. now I see now see the zeroth index number is giving me 500 it's all about setting the set at the zeroth index number that element is 100 that's we are setting. So this is the two functions. There are a lot of functions. Contains 100. Okay. What is it? This contains. Contains. Okay. What is this contains? मुझे अगर बताना है कि मेरे लिस्ट में 500 है या नहीं मुझे बताओ like I will do like south like list uh, list dot contains 500 है या नहीं मुझे ये पूछना है अभी हमारे लिस्ट में तो जीरो पोजीशन में 500 है तो ये ट्रू रिटर्न करेगा लेट्स सी इट्स ट्रू there is a lot of functionality when you're using the list there is a lot of functionality and more features are adding understand good you can see like this the features of this you can say like list dot whenever do dot you can see that the functionality adding the adding at the integer element add all clone but the clone is used for a uh, same list मुझे अगर चाहिए लेकिन मेरे 1 to 10 की एक लिस्ट है वो सेम लिस्ट की मुझे क्लोन चाहिए तो आई यूज द क्लोन लिस्ट ऑफ क्लोन then you use like a contains there's a boolean return करता है right it equals ensure capacity get class hash code index of like is empty or not this list is empty or not that also return a true or false right is a notify all there's a lot of things wait long time out timeouts two strings is lot of things there it's lot of things there too let's go to the notes okay we'll set as zero content okay. You can try this all these functions by yourself so what is this take input from a user in a list okay okay it's full thing right मैंने आपको तो बताया like बनाता हूँ like sorry stop yeah. मैंने आपको बताया डायनेमिक एरे में ऐड कैसे करते हैं मैन्युअली लिस्ट डॉट ऐड करके हम इसमें एलिमेंट ऐड कर सकते हैं मैन्युअली हम यूजर से लेना चाहते हैं we want to take the input from a user then how you can do this so firstly define like ArrayList ArrayList type is integer okay that is integer there is a list and again the new ArrayList with this size of counting is the initial count okay it's initial count so okay then for loop inside the for loop I take like you know like integer I is equal to 0, and I want to take a how much input you want to take, like integer is less than equal to I wanted 10 number to take an input, मुझे 10 नंबर लेने यूजर से, तो वो 10 नंबर मुझको ऐड करने मेरे लिस्ट में, तो कैसे करेंगे? ये लूप मेरा एक बार चल गया, तो व्हाट्स हैपन, आई वांट टू टेक फ्रॉम यूजर, ऐड scanner dot in is equal to new scanner uh, system dot in. Okay, I want to take it from user, so what I'm doing, okay, so in my list, get I told you get, आपको गेट के बारे में बताया नहीं बताया? ओके नहीं बताया तो बता दो गेट मतलब क्या होता है। साउथ लिस्ट डॉट गेट, इंडेक्स वैल्यू देना पड़ेगा। गेट में क्या होता है, गेट में आपको कौन सा इंडेक्स नंबर का वैल्यू चाहिए, मुझे चाहिए लाइक फिफ्थ इंडेक्स नंबर का वैल्यू, मुझे भी नहीं पता वो क्या है, चलो हम देखेंगे। इट्स 200, how is 200? It's 0 1 2 3 4 5, in the fifth index number there is a 200 that's showing me। मैं गेट में क्या करते हैं, हमें जो इंडेक्स नंबर चाहिए वो डालते हैं, वो नंबर मिल जाता है, दैट्स इट। तो हमें इंटीजर एट 0 में क्या करना है, ऐड करना है, लाइक ऐड, आई वांट टू ऐड इन डॉट नेक्स्ट इंटीजर, डॉट नेक्स्ट इंटीजर। why is giving me error, is the problem the and okay, add integer undefined, so don't use this thing, just add this thing। why why I do this, because जब आप ऐड करते हो वो ऑटोमेटिकली जीरो में स्टोर होगा। लाइक आप लिस्ट में कौन सा भी नंबर ऐड करते हो, जब मैंने लिस्ट में कौन सा भी नंबर ऐड किया वो ऑटोमेटिकली गोइंग टू स्टोर एन इंडेक्स नंबर 0, इज ऑटोमेटिक फर्स्ट नंबर इज इंडेक्स नंबर 0, then second input is going to be stored in index number 1, third input are going to be stored in index number 2, that's it, just for getting an input, this code is for input, next code is for output, for output, how we can show the output for like integer I is equal to 0, right, and okay, I is equal to, and I is less than how much times, it's 10 times, it's 10, and I plus plus, how I print this I just get like this, south list at what, at I position, sorry, that is what, get index number is high minus, okay, I want to take 10 input, starting from 0, that's why it's taking 11 inputs, yes 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 yes, yes, yes. Cool, program is running perfectly, just good. It's starting from 0 and ending on at 10, that's why it's taking 11 inputs, that's why, right, I enter the 1 enter 2 enter 2 enter 2 enter 3, 10, oops, put it 12 9 6, this output is 1 to 10, which is this, take the input 10 numbers and I show the output of 10 numbers. So this is pretty much about dynamic array. Let's see what is the next in this. Yeah. Okay. where we are studying the input list inside the array list. Okay, this is the syntax. And there is one question: take a 3 by 3 input, 3 by 3 matrix input from the user using array list. So, okay, input list in array list. First, let's show you the syntax. Now explain. The syntax is list. Uh, like, array list. Given the so what is this syntax told us like in a one array list, I have a array list of integer data type. So okay, now so I'll explain you what is this. So you can consider like I have a one big list. I have one big list. Inside that one big list, I'm storing the n number of lists. Inside this big list, I'm storing n number of lists, right? So that list are in which type? Like this. This is the one big list. Inside one big list, I'm uh, entering the new list with n number of lists. There's small list with the array list. In which type of that list is the integer type list. This is the syntax. This is the syntax of this. Syntax of what? We storing the list, array list. We storing the array list in array list. Like we storing the array list inside the array list. Good. Which data type? With list is data type of integer. Whatever list are we are storing in array list, that list are type of integer. Okay. So I have a for what? 3 by 3 matrix, right? Using this. Um, so firstly, what in an array list, inside the array list, this is a initially it is empty. Initially, this list is empty. We need to create a number of arrays. Like I have a big array, big list. Inside that big list, I have a number of small lists. We want to create that small list for creating list. How we create? Like a for list. Consider there is a three rows. I have a three list. There is a one row. The number one row, there is the number one list. Number two row, there is a number two list. Number three row, there is a number three list. Okay. So we want a three list. Okay. Then I is less than three and I plus really. And how I create like a list dot I create list dot add new array list, right? We add list new array list. I have a big list. Inside this big list, I want to enter the adding the new list, like adding the one array list, the creating. And I want to take the input the for printing the matrix. I give like a is equal to scanner. I create for a row. This is row is less than three. row plus plus. So I want to take an input from a user. So one more for loop is there for entering the number in the columns. Integer column is equal to 0. Okay. I want to enter the number in a list, right? So how I do this? Like a list dot uh, get what? Get a row. In the first row I want to store, and I want to add input taken from a user. Input taken from a user, like in dot next integer, like this. For input, for output, output I can do like out list, right? And on this, and going to run this. Take a number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Cool. Say, see, they're giving me the matrix. Is this stuff? Is this stuff? So this is a question for how to use array list for printing the multi-dimensional array or a 2D array. Okay. So this is for a array list. So let me solve the one some questions.
Questions from online. This is a Greek for Geeks side. We will solve the questions. You can go to the this, like you can enter on a Google top 50 array questions problems for interviews. Difficulty level is medium. Okay, so you can solve this. I will solve 2-3 questions in this, like find the minimum and maximum elements in the array. So let's do this question. Okay, do this question. And dot Java. And yes, this. Okay. So I want a maximum number in a one array. Firstly, I create one array like num. In this num, I have a number like 12. Anything number इतना भी बड़ा डाले सही है चलो. There's a very big number. Okay, cool. तो छोटा करता हूँ. ठीक लग रहा है भाई. डाल सकते हो ऐसा कुछ नहीं डाल सकते हो. Okay, I want the greatest number in this list. Firstly, for a we first write a for a maximum value, then write a for a minimum value. For a maximum value, I can write like okay. How I do this? मैं एक काम कर सकता हूँ क्या? मैं इसका जो जीरोथ इंडेक्स है इसको इसका जो जीरोथ इंडेक्स है इसको मैं मैक्सिमम वैल्यू एज्यूम करता हूँ, फिर इस नंबर को सारे नंबर से कंपेयर करता हूँ, फिर मुझे मैक्सिमम नंबर मिलेगा, राइट? आई लाइक इंटीजर max value is equal to num at which position? Zeroth position. Okay, I will compare this 12 with all, right? Okay, so now I create like a for loop integer like I is equal to 0 and I is less than length of array, like a num dot length of array is not a 0. Why? Because I assume the number at a 0th position is maximum value. I want to compare this 12 with all the elements. So I get like Okay, cool. Now I create a one if statement for what? For what? For what? Like a num at I is greater than max value. Then what do my my max value? My max value is num at I. Okay. Now I'm going to print the max value. Value command is just run it. It is giving the greatest number in this list. The biggest number in this list is 7456. Bring me 7456. Let's do small this number. Command S is giving me 5245 5256 5256. Right? You can do anything. You can do like now see which number is greater. This 746. This 746. Easy. This is for a maximum value. Let's see for a minimum value. Delete these terminals. Okay. For a minimum values. For minimum values, I like initial minimum is equal to num at what? Num at 0th position. What I'm doing basically, I'm comparing this 12 with this all. Okay, comparing this 12 with this all. Same as like we do for a maximum number. Let's do this. I just copy this. Okay. Okay. This is good. Yeah, this is good. Max value is change the condition. When is less than minimum. Minimum is like my number is less than minimum. Then minimum is num0, and I want to print minimum. Simple stuff, nothing rocket science is here, right? Like my num at a 0 to length, whatever this is length of this, right? I will compare all these numbers. Like num I is less than that minimum, then minimum is equal to num I, and just print out. अभी मुझे क्या मिलेगा? अभी मुझे मिलेगा पहले मैक्सिमम वैल्यू, फिर मिलेगा मुझे मिनिमम वैल्यू. What is the maximum value in this? Maximum value this is a 746. What is the minimum value? Minimum value is 2. Let's check my perfectly working or not. Okay, then my program working perfectly. 746 and 2. I can do like I increase this number. This 2 become now 20. Command S. Let's see run. Click. This the greatest number is this, and the smallest number is 4. So this is a successfully we write the program for this question. Second question. Let's do the question for a reverse the program for reverse the array. Let's do like reverse array dot created as a main function. So this one is an important question, right? I want to reverse the array. Firstly, I declare the array like array num is equal to like 1, 2, so I want to reverse this array. So how this is an important question, right? For reversing the array, you can do like something, replace the first and last number. You can use a swap over there, right? Replace this 1 and 10, replace this. Now come to the 2 and 9, replace this. Now come to the 3, 8, replace this. Now come to the 4, 7, replace this. Now come to the 5, 6, and replace this. Replace means swap, just swap. We do the program for a swap. There is something. See, do the program for a swap. Just do here. Like I create a one function like a static void reverse and taking the input as a this array like an integer, right? Okay. Okay. And I want to pass the first. I want to pass the array this num. Num is my name of this array, and I want to pass this in a reverse function. Okay. So how we can do that in next? So okay, I want to swap this like a zero. Sorry, at a zeroth position, this ninth position, like first and last. So I create a two variable like a start. A start is equal to 0 and integer and is equal to the length of this array minus 1. Why? Index number. I giving the 10 number is here, then my index number, my last number is 10, then the index number is 9, like num dot length, sorry, not num, is like array dot length, okay, minus 1. Cool. Now I create one while loop. While loop for what? If do like something, my start is greater than end. For just entering this loop, I do this. When I enter this loop, then I want to swap the numbers. Okay, then I create one function. Firstly, I want to pass this array, like array, this array. Now start and end. Cool. Now I create one function. Okay, when I swap this, I want to increase the start value, because after swapping 1 and 10, I want to swap 2 and 9 also. Therefore, for 2 and 9, I create, I do like start plus plus and end minus minus. Why end minus minus? When I do 1 and 10 first time, then do 2 and 9, not 2 and 10. I want to swap the 2 and 9. That's why I do this end minus minus. Okay. So this is my function for a reverse. Now I want to create a function for swapping this, actually swapping, like swap. Okay, static void swap, taking this array and taking the integer start and integer end. Okay, I create a third variable like temp is equal to what? Is equal to this array at start, like array at start. Now I do like array start is equal to array end. Now do like array at end is equal to temp. Easy. You just swap the number. Firstly, I'm going to print this before swapping. What is this? Just now, then arrays dot to string num right? This is before swapping, reversing, before reverse. This is after. That's it. Let me check once or explain you. Right, starting recording is start now. This recording is start. So this like I take a one array. I going to print this array. Then I use that reverse function. In reverse function, what is there? In the reverse function, start is 0, end is array dot length -1. That is the index number. Index number is 0. Index number is 1. Okay, index number is that end number. Okay. So next I want to do like inside the while loop, start is greater than end. Why the start is greater than end? Okay, start is less than end, right? Start is less than end. Condition should be like this. Okay, the start is 0. Start is 0 is less than end. Then I do like swap array. I swap, this is the one function. We passing that array. Which array? Array that num is array are passing to the reverse, and this array I am passing to the swap function. And a swap function start and end. What is start is 0, end is this that end, right? And for swapping this number, I take like a start plus plus end minus minus, because after swapping 1 and 10, I want to swap 2 and 9 also, and 9 to 8 also. There is start plus plus and end minus minus. Start plus plus end minus minus. Easy stuff. So I create a swap function, and this is the swapping the number. This is the basic stuff. Nothing in that. Let's run this. Yeah, cool. Successfully. Okay. Is firstly print the without swapping the number is 1 to 10, and after swapping is 10 to 1. Yo, nice. Okay, we solved the one interview question. GreeksforGreeks. Right? Nice, sir. Nice. I hope you understand this question. This question is important, right? This question is important in engineering or any department and any school. They ask this like question for reverse the string and all. So you can do this like this. Very easy stuff. I explain you in a very easy way. Very easy way. Okay. So let's solve the next question. I solve the minimum maximum questions. And what is this? Program for reverse the array, and write a program to sort the given number. So that's what is interesting. It was an interesting question. Sort. What is sorting basically? Like sort dot Java. Oh, so sorting. I give the one shortcut. See, what is the sorting? Basically, what is the sorting? The sorting is like okay. अगर मैंने नंबर लिखा, लिख के दिखाता हूँ, like integer num that was my array, okay, is equal to like तो मैंने लिस्ट अवेलेबल कुछ भी डालो 100. So this sorting is this. Sorting is like मुझे सबसे छोटा नंबर पहले चाहिए, फिर उससे बड़ा, उससे बड़ा, उससे बड़ा, उससे बड़ा, और यू कैन से द असेंडिंग द नंबर. You can arrange this number in a ascending order. You can arrange this number in a ascending order. Like take a one small example like 3, 4, 5, 8, 6, 8, 7, 2, 1, 9, 10. Yes, this is the unordered, is not a ordered. मेरे को कैसे लाना है स्ट्रिंग को? मेरे को इस स्ट्रिंग को करना है लाइक 1 2 3 4 5 6 अप टू 10. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So 10 number is there in a like andu-gundu manner. Andu-gundu. So I am to like something arrays dot sort num. Okay, and just print this dot to strings, print the num. Firstly, I'm going to print this out. Arrays dot to string num. After sorting this, there is giving a 3 to like something, and after sorting is giving 1 2 3 4 5 6 up to 10. So this is a sorting question, right? Let's do the more questions like sorting done. Kth. Okay, do this. Find the kth largest and smallest number, same like maximum and minimum number. Do this for yourself. Fifth number, do yourself. Find the occurrence of the integer in a array. Find the occurrence of the integer in the array. This stuff I think I told you before this, like in dynamic array, I guess. Dynamic array, dynamic.java contains. See, we create a one like this, and I use the contain. Is this contain the 500 in that list? Is do like yes, then it's return true. Let's do the questions. Let's like contain or occur. Occurrence dot java. To do this, for occurrence, I create ArrayList. ArrayList integer like list equal to new ArrayList. This starting point like 1, and give the starting point count, and just add the numbers in that. Just add the like something list dot add for like 100. Okay, just add numbers like this. Contain like 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, 700. मुझे देखना है कि इसके अंदर 300 है या नहीं, इस लिस्ट में मेरे 300 है या नहीं. इट्स कंटेन और इट्स 3 number is occur in this array or not. I can do like this. Out. What I want to print? I want to print that list dot occurrence. It's not a occurrence, it's contain. Contain what? Is contain 300? Is the question. In this array, I have a 3 number in this list, 3 or I have a 300 number in this list. Yes or no? It is give me true or false. See, true. I have a 300 in this list. If I ask for 800, I don't have 800 in this list. And then give me false. This stuff I do for how much questions I do for the minimum maximum, reversing the array, sorting this, and what is the find the occurrence in a integer array. Okay, and integer array means like this. There is an integer data type, that is the array list for an integer data type. Okay, sort the array of 0 1s and 3s. Okay, this one is easy question, you can do yourself, like a sort array 0s 1s and second, means 0 position, first position, second position, that is the index number. That's 0 1s and 2s, that is the index position. Just sort this means what? Take a 3 numbers and use the sort function. That's it. Okay, what is this? Sub array with a given sum. Okay, this one is very easy. Sub array with a given sum, you can create a one array and do the addition of this by the using the index numbers. That everything is very easy. You can do yourself. Move all the negative elements in a one side of the array. That's again this like this. You can do like something. मैं आपको हिंट देता हूँ ये कैसे करने का. अब क्या करो, एक एरे लो, उसमें सारे नंबर्स डालो, सारे नंबर्स डाल दिए तो आप कंडीशंस डालो. इफ माई दैट नंबर is less than 0, if my that number is less than 0, then that is negative number. Less than 0, that is a negative number. If my number is a greater than 0, there is a positive number. Separate these two and print this. That's it. No rocket science is there. I told you how to do that. 100% I hint I give. Just go and write the code. That's it. Solve the question. Find the union and intersection of the two sort in it. Okay. So this question you can refer from Google this question. Find the union, because in a further sessions I'm going to tell you about this. Just do this. Like intersections is what? In this 2, which number is repeating? The 2 is repeat, 5 is repeating. The output is 5. That's it. There's nothing like rocket science in that. We discuss more about this question in further sessions. Okay. So congratulations, you solved the difficulty level medium in a GreeksforGreeks. It's cool thing. The level 3 and all 1, 2, 3. See, we are in a beginning stage, right? We are in a beginning stage now, right? We are going to cover all this thing, the second level and third level even questions also. We are going to do all this level questions, right? You can do like sorting, like window sliders and bubble sorting and linked list sorting. They have a lot of questions, right, that ask in the companies. What that is, top 50 questions for coding problems for interviews. This question are asked in interviews. Okay, I hope you got it. चलो आज का सेशन तो इधर ही खत्म करते हैं, बहुत बड़ा सेशन हो गया, राइट? तो ओके, बहुत बड़ा सेशन हो गया, बट स्टिल आई एम नॉट वेस्टिंग योर टाइम. You, I am giving my 100% to explain you all and each thing, each and everything I'm explaining you in this array. See how I start from basic. What is the index number? What is the array? What is a 1D array? I start from this, and now I cover the interview questions. मैंने आपसे interview questions solve करके दिए. Look at this, the interview questions, right? Start किधर से किया? From the basics, like full basic, and end किधर किया? Like an interview questions, right? Again, this is not a big thing because this is a level number 1. Okay, in a further sessions, when we're doing a sorting, when we're doing a DSA, then we are covering that's level 2 number questions and level 3 questions. The maximum index and all, maximum sum of two array. We are doing this in a DSA. That's one is cool. This topic is good. So thank you so much for watching this video, and yeah, thank you so much because इतना लंबा वीडियो अगर आपने इधर तक देख लिया है तो लाइक, शेयर और फॉलो करना. अगर आपको ये सेशन हेल्पफुल लगा तो कमेंट में लिखना #helpful. दिस सेशन इज हेल्पफुल. So thank you so much. Bye. I see you in the next video.